Asmon Gold on Emiru's friends not defending her publicly. Now, before we go into the video, I want to really preface the idea of where this comes from. And if I remember correctly, this was based on a while ago. People in chat for Emiru's stream was asking her, telling her, "Hey, just say the line. Say F ice. Say you don't support these things. Hey, reflect the political opinion that I have as my favorite streamer. If you're my favorite streamer, that must mean you must share something with me. It doesn't have to do with the content that you make, or because you look cute. If you think, hey, if I think you look cute, that must mean you also share my opinions too. Just because you're cute, you also think that McDonald's is trash. You must also think that Monster Hunter is a wild game." But it's funny to where it's a situation that has Emiru clearly stating she doesn't want to make political posts or make political comments, because that's not the kind of channel that she wants to content that she wants to have within her community. She doesn't want to be a space to hear to hear controversial opinions. And if you have a controversial opinion that wants to be heard, then you go to the people who make that coverage for a living, right? So sorry, a friend of mine made a 3D print of a card sorter. I like it. I think I might just ask him to make a different mold for me, just to experiment, just to see what I like better. But I wonder if I'm better off side tangent. I was given modular things, modular card holders, and if I put them together, that's how I would do the card sorting, right? But the problem is the cell gets really weird in terms of how you put the cards in. So I don't know if I'll ask my friend to to make a different mold for me. Or keep adding on to it, because this is modular, so if I need more, I'll just let them know. But anyways, it's wild to think that just because you don't want to mix politics with your content, that means you're the bad guy. Just because you don't want... And then on top of that, knowing who her friends are, I don't think she would want her friends to defend her for her unless she wants them to. Case in point, the fact that the Steak and Eggs podcast with Tectone, Emiru, and Asmon Gold is mostly taken down is because of the tangents in politics that Asmon and Tectone will go on. She has stated a long time ago, or a while ago, where the kind of politics that they talk about, they bring in a kind of community, and that's the kind of community that Emiru doesn't want to bring in. My understanding is Emiru is mostly a cosplayer who plays games. Let me look up Emiru for a second. What does Emiru usually do on Twitch? Popular streamer and content creator, primarily known for gaming, quality cosplays and collaboratives, entertaining content. That alone is what she's popularly known for. She's not popularly known for controversial takes. She's not popularly known for her inputs in politics and policies. She just wants to be a cute cosplayer playing games, or just playing games, and being comfortable in her skin, right? But she already knows her friends like Asmon, and I would not say that they're not friends, because I wouldn't know their personal life. But I will confidently say that Asmon Gold has also a right to not publicly defend her, because he doesn't have to. Who does he have to apologize for? Who does Asmon need to apologize for?
And never friends defended her. I mean, again, I wish more of the, I mean, again, I don't want to get involved in Emmy's, her friends or something. I don't know about that. I don't want to talk about it a lot for obvious reasons. I know them, but like overall, I do think that
Because again, there's a situation where if you publicly defend your friend, you may say the wrong thing, which will either perpetuate or dissolve the conversation. Sorry, Asmon, you're gonna be blocked for a bit.
a lot of them should have defended her. I guess I should say that. I mean, I think they should have a lot for obvious reasons. I know them, but like overall, I do think that a lot of them should have defended her. I guess I should say that. I mean, I think they should have defended her, and I didn't like the fact that they didn't come out and say that. And I think that like if you want to do that, that's fine, but it's important to keep in mind the people that don't do that for you, right? And I find it to be problematic. It's very problematic. So yeah, those are not friends. I mean, I definitely wouldn't look at things the same way. If that was me, I would not look at things the same way after that at all. And never friends defended her. I mean, again, I wish more of the like. I mean, again, I don't want.
And that's just the thing, though. Just because Asmongold is an easy target to latch onto, because he's a large content creator. Tectone's a large creator. And yelling at them just because they're not defending Emiru doesn't really help fix the problem that's happening right now. Because there's a situation to where your friend has a bad take and they're public about it. You don't, in a very funny way, you see Emiru getting all this hate and all these things pointed towards her, and you don't go hearing things where I have not actually ever heard Valkyrie defending Emiru. So hold on, let me see. Defending Emiru, has that happened anyway? Again, what is this guy's problem to where he's trying to cause a problem where Ponders why Emiru hasn't caught any flack post Tectone Lakari? Why does this kid who looks not much older than 12, why is this person trying to cause a drama thing going on when he has nothing to do with it? Okay, confirms. Okay. Yeah, because like Emiru and Senna were like middle of last year, March of last year, they were attacked basically by a stream sniper, which is wild, and I don't know what happened to my computer. But again, why is it his responsibility to be publicly defending her friend? In private, they can do whatever they want. Asmon can defend his friend in private whenever he wants to. Why does he have to defend her in public for your satisfaction? That's the craziest thing. You don't see immediately her mom defending her in public. What is her mom in correlation to her community? What is Emiru's dad? Because Emiru's already dealing with enough already as it is. She's dealing with a lawsuit that could be happening with Miss Kiff. She is dealing with the fact that last TwitchCon she was basically assaulted. Twitch gaslit her before finally became held accountable for the situation, and it's wild. I don't think he's trying to isolate her. I don't know where the love is coming from. I don't even know what would be on Asmon's radar for this situation. I don't want to do that. I want to retweet it so people can see it. But it's really wild to see what they're talking about. And shocked she got canceled for not speaking on a topic she openly says she's not informed on. Yeah, the whole drama started. The whole drama started because someone was asking a question to Emiru about her opinions on ICE and policies, and if she doesn't want to be a platform for a topic she's not informative of, then she doesn't have to cater to your wants when she's not informed of the subject. And then she got in trouble for not saying her stance, and the sea of like Twitter people saying, "Say the line. If you believe ICE is doing something wrong, then say the line." And she isn't saying the line in itself is pretty heavy alone as it is. Like saying anything in public as a public figure is heavy. And I don't think that Emiru wants that kind of attention. She got harassed for saying she didn't know anything. That's the thing. She got harassed for saying she didn't know anything about the pro-ICE situation. So automatically people assume that public figures on the internet should know what's publicly going on. No, she's in her corner of the internet where she wants to cosplay. She does a really good job about it, and she wants to play games, which she is okay on. That's all she's been doing, and that's what she wants to keep doing. She wants to have fun with her friends, play games, do good cosplays. And why should she be informed of everything the loud minority wants her to make a comment on? That in itself is wild. They think their stance is obviously the good one, so you should simply know that their stance is correct. Other people will choose to be silent if they don't want to upset you with their opinion. Yeah, that's what often happens, because if you don't know the complete situation, you're just going to go off gut feeling. And oftentimes gut feelings might be the incorrect stance. Oh yeah, I have this one up. I think it's the funniest thing. I think the funniest thing about the Emmy drama lately is that Asmon is the one setting an example for what being an actual friend looks like. Because again, he doesn't need. Asmon is the only one. Is someone being a role model in an industry built on those merely pretending to be. Yeah, because if you're defending Emmy, if you were to defend Emmy in public, two things should be happen. One of two things should happen. There's two paths. Where one, if you're defending Emmy's position, you should know 100% what you're talking about and how to defend people who say, but what about, but actually, she is terrible for not defending it publicly. Like again, what is Emiru's obligation to the public, right? She has a corner of cosplayers and gamers. She wants to be in her corner for playing games. Why does she need to be informed about your political takes to take your political side? She doesn't need to do that. And Asmon's being a really good friend to where he's not stirring the pot. He's not making it worse. It's like you and your friend are at McDonald's, right? You and your friends at McDonald's. You're eating at McDonald's, and somebody randomly walks in and yells at you for not saying, like, fuck ICE. Or if you and your friend are at Target, somebody randomly walks into Target, you're just in Target for no objective reason, but for a random person to come and yell at you because they think you're supporting Trump, they think you're supporting LGBTQ, like, whatevers, because you're shopping at Target. No, I'm just at Target because they have this thing that I like. Like, what do you mean? Emiru is the point. I think I got off subject, but more importantly, Asmon is doing the best thing he can do, and he's doing his best to not stir the pot. Him being a public figure already stirs the pot, and him saying less about it makes the loud minority. It prevents them from having more ammunition against him and against Emiru. If he says more things, the loud minority will just twist it somehow into a bullet, and then they will try to shoot them down. That's what ultimately happens. So it's incredibly wild. Oh yeah, Kirsten's made a comment on it. Standing up for your friends and people you care about is an admirable trait. It is very much a shame that too many don't bother, especially in the content creation. It is. You're absolutely right. It's definitely an admirable trait to defend your friend and family. It's nothing entirely to where, who are you defending your family and friends from? Are you defending your friends and family from somebody that barely knows them? Online? Steve from down the country? Why do I need it to protect? Why does Asmon need to protect Emiru from Steve from down the country when they have nothing to do with their personal livelihoods or the way they make money, the way they live their lives privately? The loud minority will stay there for as long as you ignore them. Any loud voice, it's a non-issue for Emmy to not talk about politics she's not familiar with, and she's not responsible for you. She's not supposed to be your echo chamber, and neither is Asmongold. He's an echo chamber for a lot of things. He shouldn't be the echo chamber for the subject of why Emiru has not said anything. And I think it's wild. I think people on the internet are pretty wild. Another one. Many streamers will abandon you in a second if you're seen as a liability to their bag cash, even if you made their careers. Many would actually lie or embellish lies to help destroy you for clout, more views, money, even knowing it's a lie. For whatever reason, this reads to me as the situation happening with Hassan again, because I have a bit of a pulse with. I'm gonna close out with this: the fact that there's a pulse going on regarding the content bomb that Ethan Klein has made about Hassan, and then there's people like Frogan, Caseytron, and Denims trying. There's a whole thing to where Caseytron, Denims, and Frogan were in a lawsuit with Ethan Klein regarding copyright. One of them complied and is not pursuing a court case anymore. But there's other people who are defending Hassan and glazing them up, and if I remember correctly, I can't be wrong, but Denims, Frogan, and Caseytron, they were big supporters of Hassan Piker, and for whatever reason, people feel like Hassan is abandoning his three supporters because they're pretty much a liability. And there's a thing going on with Ludwig to where Ludwig says people call Ludwig chained up because he allowed again, I don't know much about this because I'm a tourist, but allegedly Hassan Piker did crude things to Cutie Cinderella, which is Ludwig's girlfriend, and he has not done anything to reprimand Hassan for it. But whenever Hassan has done something that is a little bit weird, Ludwig, the friend, doesn't come out and talk him, say, hey, what the fuck? I think it's wild. Again, I don't know a lot of these things. I'm just a tourist. But there's enough things. There's enough things that are pointed out that kind of make a graph, and that kind of says something. I don't know what it is. I'm not a scientist. But it says something if there's enough points on a graph that makes a line. There's a trend, you know? But ultimately, I am coming up online because this came up on my feed, and this is wild. Asmon shouldn't have to defend Emiru to the degree that people want him to. He doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to validate the feelings of Steve or Marcus from down the country because they believe something about Emiru. He doesn't have the obligation to like say what they're saying is wrong, because on what grounds are Steve and Mark correct about anything? That's honestly like it's the funny thing, and that I just want to talk about it. I don't know. This is wild.